Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares, and it's time for a positive spin. Now, today we're going to be taking a look at I Spit on Your Grave, Deja Vu, or aka Day of the Woman, Deja Vu. Now, Joe and I, of course, are watching this for Franchise Frenzy, and this is a movie that I have no history with. And here's the thing the reason why I have no history is because of the runtime. At 2 hours, 28 minutes, and 3 seconds, that is a long runtime for a movie like this. And the other reason was simply because I had never heard a good review for this film. Not from anyone. So I kind of stayed away from it. Now, when Joe and I said we were going to do Franchise Frenzy, and we decided to do I Spit on Your Grave, then it gave us a reason to watch the film. So let's do a positive spin for I Spit on Your Grave, Deja Vu. Okay, first of all, I want to state all of you guys who think that Joe and I like everything are going to be sadly disappointed. Neither one of us really cared for this film because it's not really a good film. Now, that is basically the only thing negative you're going to hear me say about this, because the reason why we do this is even the worst movies, there are positive things to find in these films. And Joe and I feel very strongly about that. All these people who do these rants where they're constantly bashing things there's no reason for it. Why not look at the positives in something? And I'll be honest with you, Joe said this and I completely agree. With the runtime being 2 hours and 28 minutes and 3 seconds, it gave us more time to find positives. So let's get started. I like that they got Camille Keaton back in the film. And in the very beginning, you would think a long runtime like that, you would have a film kind of like Silent Night, Deadly Night 2 or Boogeyman 2, where you have 40 minutes of the first film. That's actually not the case here. They do very little in the form of flashback. There's maybe a couple minutes total, which I thought that was interesting. Because, like I said, you would think, with it being that long, that they would go for something like that. Now, it has the same director as the one from the first one. So, as I said before, you would think. But, however, that is not the case. So, they got Camille Keaton back, and she is older. And one of the things I really like about this is the premise. The premise, whoever thought it up, I thought did a fantastic job. Now, there's going to be spoilers in this, which I don't normally like to do, but let's be honest. Most people probably aren't going to watch this movie simply for the runtime alone. I mean, it's a rape revenge film. 2 hours and 28 minutes, you know? So, we're going to get to a little bit of the spoiler. So, if you've been wondering about I Spit on Your Grave, Deja Vu, here's your chance. So, as I said, I like that they got Camille Keaton back. And one of the things I actually like about this, and this is a spoiler, so if you're not interested, I guess muffle your ears or turn off the video. But they actually kill her pretty early in the film. And I thought that was a bold move, because she's basically your link to the first film. Now, she establishes that link really well, but they do kill her off. It's like within the first hour of the film, basically, if I remember correctly. Jamie Bernadette plays her daughter, and that's who's on the cover here. And that's kind of where the premise goes. They both get kidnapped. They get taken back to where she was originally raped by relatives of the people that raped her. and that's where they go from there, which I do think is a clever premise. Now, Jamie Bernadette, who plays her daughter, looks really good and is also naked in the film. Big plus. She's very attractive. The cinematography, this is one thing I was talking to Joe about. The cinematography in this film is really good. While some of the film may be lacking, definitely the person who was holding the camera knows how to make a film. The shots were done really well. The editing was actually done fairly well as well. So that's another positive right there. Now there's a point in the film where they do something to surprise me, which is they kill off Camille Keaton. Again, big positive, and I know I'm repeating myself, but I just think that was an incredibly bold move. Now, there is a person in this film, one of the hillbillies, if you will, that um, goes to rape the daughter and is actually a decent person, and they stick to their convictions. That's something you don't normally see in these movies because, even the person who's mentally handicapped is made to do it so that the other people aren't doing it by themselves. And I thought that that was interesting. It has a good premise. They really could have done something interesting with it, and I'm not sure if they're planning on doing a sequel, but they did leave room for a sequel. And the last thing I wanted to talk about, and this is one of the big ones, is there's a part in the cemetery where the three original people who raped Camille Keaton are buried. And one of the relatives, which is a woman who was actually the wife of Johnny, who raped her in the first movie, there is a really good moment when she's talking to him in the cemetery. And it kind of blew my mind a little bit. Simply because you have a movie where the tone is one way and it all of a sudden shifts for that one moment. And I thought that it was an honest, tender moment, and it kind of was not out of place, but it was just done extremely well. All in all, it's I Spit on Your Grave, Deja Vu. Check it out or don't. But don't forget to check out Joe's positive spin for I Spit on Your Grave, Deja Vu. Remember, guys, physical media matters. And until next time, peace.